Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. I want to give you today a short video and an update on my branded deck. I already made a combo video on this branded deck. You can check it out. I will link it in the description. And I also made another video on the branded deck and the deck profile, and I recommend you to watch the other branded video deck profile before, because I also have a points breakdown there. I also explain way more on why I play a certain card and why I don't play a card. In this video, I just shortly want to show you the new deck list I came up with. I will also explain you the changes I made after testing a bit more and after discovering new combos with the Dracotail card. So yeah, this is my changed branded deck list with the Dracotail engine in it, which gives it a much higher ceiling. It can cost you a bit of consistency, but trust me, it gives you a better one-card fusion combo with only branded fusion or only Aluber. This deck is way stronger in the power level. So I recommend you watching the first part of the branded deck profile, and also I recommend you watching the combo video after this video. I will link you both down in the description so you can watch it. Alright, we start with the deck profile. This is gonna be quick and easy. One branded fusion, 33 points. There, nothing has changed. Also, still 6 ways to get to the branded fusion. Brand opening is also really good in this format. It's just super nice to have it, and sometimes I also search it when I don't have it. So yeah, still 7 ways to branded fusion. Nothing has changed here. Then we still play free Albion, free Albus, and free diffusion deployment, like maximum out on those cards. This is still like the correct thing to do. I upped the number of the cards overall in this deck. I'm now playing 41 because it's kind of hard to fit in and a whole Dracotail engine and still going down in cards. So yeah, I had to cut something, but there's nothing to cut here on those cards. We want to max out on Albion. It helps the consistency. Also gets your free card engrave. You need free Albus still because you will run out of resources without the Rebellion in the extra deck, and Fusion Deployment is your strongest card, so you cannot cut on those cards. Then we still play 2 Cartesia. I think I want to play actually 3 in this deck, but this card, yeah, it costs points, and so we can only afford to play 2 because we also want to play Quem, because this also costs 3 points. So yeah, Cartesia in this version of the deck is even better because we don't have to draw a fusion deployment plus Aluber. It's just enough if you do draw Cartesia plus Aluber. This is still like the full combo because of the Dracotail cards. We don't have to banish the Albus directly, so we can first special summon the Cartesia and then do something with the Albus. So this helps a lot that we have now Cartesia always as a really good draw if we have it in the hand. So I would, in the normal TCG, I would play 3 with this. Yeah, Genesys unfortunately has 3 points, so we cannot go higher than 3, or else we had to sacrifice some other cards that I still want to play. Yeah, just watch the combo and you will see this is like even better now in this version of the deck to have it in the hand. So I would have maxed out, but I don't think we can afford it. Because we still want to play the 2 Allures, because this card is just way too good. It just gives you so much advantage, because we still play the Mercurier and also a bigger Despia combo. I thought about going down with the Tragedy for a bit, but this just makes so much sense to play with Rahu, because this plus Rahu is also like a good combo. It also gets you easily to branded fusion and gives you a good combo. So I just want to have the free Tragedy in the deck. So if you play free Tragedy, we still need to have the free Allure of Darkness, because those cards just work so well together. And also, if you only have free 1 branded fusion, the Tragedy really helps to also recycle that in turn 3 or whatever, you know. So I think this is really good to have the free Tragedy. For the big Despia names, I actually went down. I do not play the other big Despia name. I only play the Dramaturge now. I don't think it's that important if we play the combos to recycle the Mirror Jade, because we always recycle it with Quem. So we don't need the other big guy with the name I kind of forgot. It was Ad Libitum. Yeah, so we don't play the Ad Libitum in this version because we had to make some room. I think it's still good to have the Ad Libitum, but I don't really want to go over way more than 40 cards. I think 41 is even too much, but yeah, 41 is still fine. And I also cut it down on the Branded in Red. I think playing Branded in Red should be still fine at 2. I liked it at 3, but sometimes this card can also brick, because you can only use it if you have something in the grave, but you have enough stuff to get things in the grave. But I think 2 is still like quite enough to have in this version. Still playing the Retribution. This is mandatory to play because of Quem, because of Albion. It gives you follow-up, gets you back to Branded Fusion. But I couldn't cut down on the Branded Sword. I think this card is just way too good to not play it. I am also considering playing it in my normal TCG decks, because yeah, this card gives you so good plays with Allure. If you activate Allure, banish Mercuria, then you can get back the Mercuria with Branded Sword. It just makes so much sense to play this card. And we only have like 1 Mirror Jade to be also able to get back the Mirror Jade with Branded Sword. Yeah, just makes a lot of sense, and does also get a higher ceiling for this deck. Then the thing we all waited for, it's the Dracotail engine. For the main deck monsters, we have Phyrexial and Pan. We only play those 2. We're not playing the Dracotail deck. We're playing a branded deck with a small engine of Dracotail. Those have the good points that they do not cost anything, right? They're totally free. If we played Mululu or something like that, this one costs 5 points, but also the problem with Mululu is we cannot send it because we do not play a Lubellion in the extra deck. So it's like perfectly fine that we have those 2. Phyrexial is for being sent for a light monster, right, for Albion, and Pan is a monster that has 2500 or more attack, which you can send for Titaniclad. So this one helps you going first, and Pan helps you going second break boards, and also Titaniclad if you summon it unaffected by card effects summoned from the extra deck. So yeah, it's a strong board breaker. You can also pop 1 monster, and importantly, if you go first with this one, you can pop 1 monster on the board, not from the opponent. So if you have an Albion or a Titaniclad on a board that you want to get rid of because you want to use the Grave effect, but you don't have a Cartesia to fuse it away, you can use your own Pan to destroy the monster, which can give you a lot of advantage, because you can use then the end phase effect and to search something, or special summon Quem or stuff like that. And for the spells and traps, I decided to play 1 Flame, because Flame helps a lot if you go first and have a board, and yeah, your opponent, I don't know, activates Dark Ruler, because often with this version of the deck, with the way you make the combos, you do not end on Branded Red, because you use the end phase to trigger the Quem. So it's important that you are that you have a way to out powerful board breaker cards, and Flame is perfectly fine for that, because here you can now also recycle your engine, because you play so less engine, and also draw a card, right? Yeah, drawing a card is always good in Branded, because especially some Fawn of Albers, use effect Fawn of Albers to discard a card. You always need something in the hand to be able to do that. And yeah, that's why I decided to play the Flame. I think this is fine. You can brick on it, right? If you draw it go second, it's even worse, right? But if you draw it going first without a Dracotail engine, it's still a good card. You can use it to negate a spell even without having like a Dracotail name or something on the board. So this card works on itself. So it's not the worst brick to draw if you go first, but yeah, you never like to have those in the hand, right? And for the spells, I'm only playing 2 Rahu. Rahu is free to play. You could play the third one, but I don't really like to draw this in my start hand. Yeah, you can play with a Tragedy with it, but I think the main purpose with this card is to set it. You also don't want to see multiples of this card, because usually we only play one Gulamel, so we can usually only activate it once. So I don't want to have more than one of Rahu ever in this game. So, but I think it's too risky to only play one, because if you draw it, then yeah, you only have like one target left in the deck that you can set, which is the flame. So you cannot resolve both names. I don't think that's really good. You could just cut it to one and only play one and then play exactly 40. But I think it's kind of important to play two, and it's also not that bad if you draw it, right? You can still break some boards with Rahu, but I don't really like it. So it's a case of you want to see it sometimes, but not all the time. So my thinking was I only play two. Yeah, it can be right to play three, but I think this is fine. I tested it and it came out really good, and I did not draw it too much to brick on it, right? Now for the non-engine, I changed it a bit. I'm still playing the Drawn Lockbird. I think it's really important right now to play Drawn Lockbird. I also played like the White Forest deck, which is totally ridiculous. You need Drawn Lockbird. There's no way around it. You have to spend the 15 points for Drawn Lockbird if your deck can afford to. So I think this is no discussion. I have to play that. But the other thing I changed, this was a Final Ring of the End Times before. Now it's Radiant Multi-Dimensional Kaiju. I think this is the better thing to play because it breaks boards a bit more efficiently. It's a monster which you can use for Rahu. It's also a dark monster, so you can use it to fuse into I don't know, a Despian monster, or the fusion for Khadija, something like that. So it's good that it's dark monster. You can use it for a Law of Darkness. So I think it has a lot of utility also, and it's also a good non-engine because there are a lot of towers that you, unfortunately cannot out really good with branded. So you kind of have a hard time outing towers that are unaffected or something like that, and you sometimes cannot make a monster that's strong enough. The only thing that can do it is Titanic Clad, right? But yeah, Kaijus help you a lot to break stuff like that. For example, if you play against Purely, you have a really hard time, and having Radiant there just helps you a lot. Now for the extra deck, we're still playing one Mirror Jade. Yeah, kind of have to. Still no changes for Albion, still playing 3 Albion. Then 1 Titanic Clad still. I thought about going up to 2 with Titanic Clad with this list, because sometimes you want to fuse into it. But my other way around was still playing the Sprint. I'm not entirely sure if I still want to play Sprint or 2 Titanic Clad. Sometimes it feels better to have 2 Titanic Clad. Sometimes it just feels better to have the Sprint because it can fuse into anything, not just 2500 or more. But then the other way around, the monster has to be special summoned in this turn to summon Sprint. So yeah, I think either way it's fine. You could play a second Titanic Clad that comes up. You could also play a Sprint. I think it's both fine to do. And the last thing for the Albus monsters, it's the Wind Bomb. Wind Bomb really important to be able to use it with to send it with Mirror Jade and then special summon it back. Also, if you get shifted, you want to build this with the Mercuria, because then the Mercuria gets banished and you can get another Surge. So I think the setup is fine for the Albus cards. Then I'm playing still 1 Quirites. I'm playing 2 Masquerade. I think Masquerade is way too important in this format. I also showed it in my duel replays. Some matchups you just easily win with the Masquerade, the double text dragon thing. If you play against stuff like Runic or stuff like that, this one helps you a lot. Then I play still 1 Dracotail, helps you to have another endboard piece. If you only play 1 Mirror Jade, it's kind of important to have also other endboard cards. And in this version of the deck, I'm only playing 1 Grangunyol. I think it's fine to only play 1 Grangunyol because you don't play a lot of cards that you actually want to send. I did cut the Garura to send. I did cut the Ad Libitum to send, so there are less cards you want to send in this deck. So I think you can get away with only playing Grangunyol, only playing 1 Grangunyol, but yeah, it doesn't feel right to only play one Gangneol. I always like to play two, but I think it's important to only play one here because I have 3 more cards that I want to play in this list, which I'm going to show you now. So the 3 cards I changed in comparison to the last lists are Gulamil, Sectarian Dragon, and Filia Regis. So yeah, Gulamil, for obvious reasons, we need a target to fuse with Rahu. Yeah, Gulamil does not do a lot. I rather wanted to have this being Artharian, but we cannot afford to play Artharian because it's 20 point and we still have to play our Droll. So we cannot play Artharian, we have to play Gulamil. It's totally useless. We cannot use its effect because the only thing how we can trigger it is if we go second or if we use the trap. It's level 7, which also makes it worse, so we kind of fuse into it with Cartesia, but yeah, it's the only card that we can play. You could play a second one, but I don't think it's necessary. I only play one. I think this is fine. We can recycle it with the trap if we have to. Then the other thing is Sectarian Dragon. I think it's important to have Sectarian Dragons because some decks also lose against the Floodgate. There is the White Forest deck. There is also the Dracotail deck, right? And there's maybe also a mirror match sometimes, and so I think it's kind of important to play the Sectarian Dragon. And also this helps you in the combo where you start with Rahu and also Tragedy. This you can see it in my combo video that you can do full combo if you have the Sectarian Dragon, because you can fuse into it with Albion. It also helps you in the grind game because we only play one Quem, so this one is a really helpful and good card. And the last change I made to the extra deck is playing Filia Regis. This one is kind of hard to build in this deck because you need a Dragon Fusion monster and one level 7 or higher Dragon monster. You probably won't build this going first, but in turn 3 it turns out that you kind of have a problem. If you went for your Mirror Jade, then you do not really have a lot of strong monsters left and a lot of monsters that can out stuff, right? So this would have been the ideal place to play another Mirror Jade, but we cannot play another Mirror Jade. We can also not recycle our one Mirror Jade because we don't have a Lubellion. So I had to find something else, and I think Filia Regis does the job pretty well. She can banish stuff. Also, if she banishes something from a field, she can give a dragon to the hand or back to the extra deck, which can recycle you. I don't know, if you build it with Albion, then banish, I don't know, Albion and Titanic Lad from the graveyard to summon the Filia Regis, then you can banish something from the field and bounce back the Albion to your extra deck, so you will have an Albion back in the extra deck to be able to fuse again in the next turn or whatever. So I think it's kind of fine to do that and to play this. This one helps you in a grind game and lets you not go out of resources and out of interruptions so fast. I also did some changes to the side deck. I'm still playing Flying Sea. I'm still playing XYZ Encore, which is super important to out those annoying XYZ decks. And then I'm still playing Cosmos Cyclone. This is for trap decks, for Fire King, whatever. So I think those cards are standard. I would recommend playing it in every single side deck in Genesys. But the other 6 cards I changed a bit. I'm playing now the Swords of Concealing Light. I think this is a really good card to out a board, and we cannot play the Book of Eclipse because Book of Eclipse costs 5 points. So Swords of Concealing Light is the next best thing, and I think it's better than playing Dark Ruler because Dark Ruler just negates the stuff, but we just want to flip it face down. So we block their zones, right? And they cannot use them for stuff like that. And if you leave it on the board, they can also not flip their cards. So I think this is a good way to out stuff. And the last 3 cards are Final Bring of the End Times, 2 of those, and 1 Dracotail Horn. Final Bring of the End Times, it's just a good generic card. I just cite this in for going first because I play the Kaijus. I don't want to have the Kaijus necessarily in going first. So I cite out 3 Kaijus for 2 Final Bring of the End Time and then 1 Dracotail Horn. This is like really good because then you can actually recycle your whole Dracotail combo. And if you draw this without yeah, without the Dracotail combo, it's also fine. It just gives something back to the hand, and you can also recycle your own stuff with that. So I think Dracotail Horn kind of feels good to play in this version of the deck, so you can have more stuff to set. So it also don't hurt so much. If you draw one, then you can just still set the other one. So it's fine to side it in if you know that you go first. Alright, that's it for the deck profile. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys liked the changes. If you have some questions about the changes or recommendations, tell me in the comments. I will read them all and answer to them. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.